Shalom. Shalom, Israel. I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica. Coming to you live. Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shai Barakatah to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Ilatan Ba'asham Yahweh Shai to my sisters. This week, what are we looking at? This week we're looking at mysteries of heaven and hell. I hope that we get into the Passover. Passover, not past. Right. So heaven and hell, we are always, well, before we get into that, let me say that I.S.U.P.K. began at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969. And I.S.U.P.K. today is run by the one man given the rank and authority to lead Israel today, Commanding General YAHANNA. Passover, yes, the joyous time, celebration of Israel or the Israelite. Passover coming up next weekend. We'll be celebrating what the Most High did to our enemies, what the Most High did to our Egyptians. At this time, we'll be praying for him to do it again and even better to the Babylonians, the Edomites. But before we get into that, let's look at heaven and hell. Many times we talk about being in heaven. Oh, good things happen to me, I say, I'm in heaven. And when bad things happen, we say, we are in hell. Yet still, your religion tell you that when you die, depending on the life that you had lived, you face the Most High judgment, and you go to either heaven or hell. But let us see what the Bible itself says about heaven and about hell. Now let's look at heaven. Now, one more day. Now, some things to finish. I'm just short all the finish. Matthew 6 and 10. Answer. Let me. These things just move slow when you need them to move fast, you know. Matthew what again? Matthew 6 and 10, right. All right. Let's see what it says. What does Matthew 6 and 10 say?
Context. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 10. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Alright, so thy kingdom come. What kingdom? What kingdom? The kingdom, this is referring to, oh, this is the Lord's Prayer, referring to the kingdom of the Most High. Thy will be done where?
In earth
As
it is in heaven.
So this kingdom that we are looking for the Most High, where will it take place?
Here on earth as it is in heaven.
Alright, so the kingdom that we are looking for, looking forward to, is right here in earth. Okay. I just listen. I keep upon it. Come on. Alright, so we pray a prayer hoping for the kingdom of the Most High to be on earth. That's what Christ said we should pray for. That the kingdom of God should be on earth the same way as it is where God dwells. And that is what is going to happen. That's where the kingdom will be. So everything takes place here on earth. All right, let's go in some more into heaven, and then we deliberate on what is heaven. Revelation 5 and 10. Revelation 5 and 10, what it says.
Revelation chapter 5 and verse 10. And has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
And has made us as what?
As us, and has made us unto our God kings and priests.
All right, so Revelation 5 and 10. Hey, so that's something else. Oh no, you speak that already I play back. And has made us unto our God kings and priests. So Revelation is written by John the Revelator. And John the Revelator was having a vision here. Was Christ showed it to him. And he said, and has made us unto our God kings and priests. Well, for those who might be listening to us for the first time, we can read the entire chapter to understand what that is saying. But because we have read it so many times, we don't really go into all the chapter, but we know what it is saying. So it is saying that the Most High has made us kings and priests. This is when we are to take over rulership, We'll be kings and priests, and we shall reign where?
Reign on the earth.
And our reign, our rulership won't be in any heaven. I mean, in any sky. Our rulership will be right here on earth. All right, now, we know in our situation here in Jamaica, we're born under a thing where, should we say actually a thing? We're born and grow under a kind of belief system where we believe that sufferation is the order of the day. True or false? True or false?
True, true.
Right, we believe that sufferation is the order of the day. So, to be telling Jamaicans now that, you know, you're actually going to rule this planet. Yeah, like, yeah, right. Well, it must be when we're dead. Well, here it is saying that your rulership will be here on earth, not in the sky. And you don't have to die to achieve, well, the old man has to die and put on the new man. But not the physical death as you would hear Christians preach about. Not that kind of death. All right, let's read one more before we go into some other things. Revelation 21 and 2.
Revelation 21 and verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
So this is John again, saying that he saw, in a vision of course, the holy city. And that holy city which John saw was not the Jerusalem where the Edomites are in control of now. The one that, what's his name? That the trumpet blow is on, it's on, and gave it to them. So that Jerusalem is the eternal capital of Israel. And the worst thing, you know, they are not the Israelites. But anyway, it's not that Jerusalem, but the Jerusalem that is to come to the Israelites. John said he saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh. Out of where?
Out of heaven.
Right. But this was coming from where the Most High dwells. Remember now, we pray that thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So this is the Most High now giving you this new Jerusalem, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. Now, all right, let's look at some Jamaican situation now. All right. You know, indirectly, the white man controls things in Jamaica. Evidence of that. Donald Trump sent call the Caribbean leaders. I mean, if I have the power to send call you as a leader, I must be more powerful than you. So we know that the white man's rulership here over us in the Caribbean is what's the word I use? It's not so visible. But it is, what's the word?
Indirect.
Indirect. So in other words, you tell the leaders that you vote you know, the white man tell him what to do. So when you choose a leader, it's like, okay, so this is the man that you choose to speak to us. And then we believe that we have power. Nah. You want to know how much power you have? Look at, all right, look at where the white men are in Jamaica. Our resorts, you have one and two that moves around in the society who control the best of businesses in the island, import, export, the big trade. Most people think the Chinese control the big trade, you know, no? The white man still control big trading in Jamaica, you know, and the big production business and so on. It's really the white man control it. The white man, the Chinese control retail. They dominate retail and wholesale of only certain things, food. But many other things you look at the white man. Look at the resorts. Who are the patrons in the resort? Is it the blacks? Are the patrons? The customers?
Nah.
Yeah, so who?
The white man.
The white man. You go on the north coast, who do you see?
The white man.
Yeah.
And the only hotels as well. There's no hotel in Jamaica that a black man.
There was one, you know, the Wexford, I think Wexford.
Wexford Court.
There's one by, but I don't know if him still one. What was his, I don't know if him name then. He died. So, I don't know if it's sell or him probably get it or it go. But the resorts are owned by other races, mainly the whites, and patrons, mainly the white. I mean, if you have money as a Jamaican, you can go down and take a weekend at any one of the resorts. They don't have any law now that says no blacks wanted here. You can go, you know. But, yeah, no, you won't see people. And the matter of fact, when you go, you are so out of place. If you want to feel, if you go as a patron, as a black Jamaican into one of the resorts, you know, and you want to feel like you're among your peers, you have to go and associate with the help. You find the person, the cook, the waitress, the gardener. If you want to associate in the resort with persons who look like you, that's where you have to go now. You're going to find the help. In the Bible, we call them servants. And it's referring sometimes to as slaves or handmaids. But that's just the reality. The white man is still in control. But we have a Bible or a guidebook that tells us that we should be in control. Let's journey to, that was what, Revelation 21?
Answer.
All right, let's journey to 2 Esdras 6 and 54.
No more.
Find it? All right, let me read that one. Tell me where you search find the meantime. Find Baruch 4 and 6. I'll read 2 Esdras. 2 Esdras 6 and 54 says, and after these, of course, I can read, and like I said, you feel free to read the entire chapter. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all creatures, Of him come we all. So this is saying now that all man that you see now come from Adam. Thou hast said, sorry. And the people also whom thou hast chosen. So, big question now. Who can tell me why today we can say all man come from Adam?
The Bible said so.
Simply because the Bible says so. Look at Tamar and Akaya. Why do we say that today that all man come from Adam?
God, the Bible said, the Most High created Adam and blew the breath of life into him.
All right. UPK teaching, we know that Adam, at the time when the Most High raised Adam from nothing up to make him into a man by giving him the laws, we know that he wasn't the only man that was on earth. Right? So, yet still, today we say all man come from Adam. Why? What major event would have happened that we can say that today that all man came from Adam?
Lord.
What? What's that? A lucky guess? Not a lucky guess. But you're right. Because of the flood. Because during the flood, how many persons were saved?
8.
One bloodline. Noah's bloodline. And Noah is the great grandson of who? Of Adam. So all the other people that would have been around went where? They died in the flood. So that is why today, and even at the time of when second Esdras was being written, when Esdras was writing, Esdras could say, of Adam comes all of us. And also the people whom thou hast chosen, meaning the Israelites. So here he's saying that if the Israelites comes from Adam. True or false?
Answer.
Must be, because we're all the Bible dictionary. Okay. 5 minutes. So. All right. Look for amp. HAM. So who are the 3 sons of Noah who were saved in the ark again? In the ark. Shem and who?
Japheth.
And Japheth. So the people that would have been chosen would be from one of these lineage, right?
Answer.
Right. But we have a tendency here in Jamaica, we have a tendency here in Jamaica to believe that we are Africans. According to the Bible, those who we call Africans are really Hamites. They are from Noah's son that was named Ham. Now let us see if we are Hamites. What's the Bible dictionary definition for Ham?
The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
So Ham became the progenitor of the dark races, right?
Not the Negroes.
Not the Negroes, which means that we and the Hamites, we are dark. But the progenitor of the dark race being Ham, and Ham descendants would be who?
The Egyptians,
Ethiopians, Libyans,
and Canaanites.
And the Canaanites. And it says not the Negroes. And we are the ones who they call the Negroes. All right, next point. Baruch, you find Baruch, right? Baruch, what I say? Come on, the noise. And then just save the cutting until they know say I go a class time. I walk with. Huh? Next door.
Baruch what?
4 and 6.
Read.
Hold on, just hold it. All right, so if we are the Israelites, who we know that should be God's chosen people, and we just read through what the definition, and show that heaven is a condition here on earth, not being experienced by the majority of us. So where does that leave us? Let's hear what Baruch 4 and 6 says.
Answer. Baruch chapter 4. Baruch is found in the Apocrypha.
Baruch, the book of Baruch is in the Apocrypha. The set of books that your enemies tell you not to read. No, don't read that part of your history. It makes us look bad. All right, continue.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations.
All right, so we were sold to the nations. Even during the final captivity, the last captivity year, we were sold, not to nations this time, but to the Edomites. Continue.
Not for your destruction.
Right. So we being in slavery is not, the Most High didn't allow us to go into slavery to destroy us. So why were we in slavery?
But because ye moved God to wrath.
You know, I've never read about another race of people who make God vex. You Israelites, you know, your work, you know, the only race of people move God to jealousy and vexation. All right, continue.
Ye were delivered unto the enemies.
So we made our Father angry against us. You know what? But then go on to the enemy. He says you love them more than I. Than you love your enemies more than or you love me. You go on to them. And of course, they treat us real bad. Read the next verse below that I hear what it says.
Answer. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 7. For ye provoke him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to God.
Now God give us the sacrifices to sacrifice unto him. And we can sacrifice unto devils, meaning to other gods, and not unto our creator. So we move him to anger. All right, Genesis 27:29. Genesis 27 and 29.
Answer. Genesis.
All right, this now deals with Jacob's blessing, the blessing of the Israelites, the 12 tribes.
Genesis
27 and 29. This is the blessing of the Israelites, of named Jacob, the blessing that, what's his name, Isaac bestowed on Jacob and Jacob's descendants.
Genesis chapter 27 and verse 29. Let people serve thee.
So people supposed to be our servants, and not we be their servants. Continue.
And the nations bow down to thee.
And nations should be bowing down to us. But we have to go and scrub on the IMF. Go and beg IMF something. Then we remember about 2-3 years ago, when we were at the IMF doors beating down, we want some money, we need a loan, we need an IMF loan, and they give us a 6 for a 9. I don't know what our leaders expect. That's what IMF always do. Continue.
Be Lord over thy brethren.
So we are the brethren here. Who was Jacob's brethren? Come on, man. Brothers. Jacob had one brother.
His brother.
Who was Jacob's brother? Jacob had one brother. Well, you know, if you know, I'm not telling you. Who else? Remember, it was Esau and Jacob in the womb, you know, and there was no other son. So when it said, be Lord over thy brethren, who do you think it was referring to?
His brother.
His brother. It was referring to Jacob should be Lord over Esau's descendants, and the descendants of Jacob should be Lord over the descendants of Esau. Continue.
And let that mother's sons bow down to thee.
So it is telling you here now who are the brethren, thy mother's sons. So if it's a mother's sons, it will be who now? Esau and his children. Right. Continue.
Cursed be everyone that curseth thee.
So everyone that curses us Israelites are cursed. Trust me. You soon see the curses coming on their head. I'll tell you, they are just sitting down waiting on their blessing, enjoying what is left of their heaven. Cursed be everyone that
curse thee,
curseth thee, right?
and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
All right. So, pop quiz now. Which nation blessed the Israelites? Tell me the nation that blessed the Israelites.
No nation.
I was expecting you to deliberate a little longer. Yeah, so right. No nation. Not one single one of those nations who we have loved. And I said, this is where we went wrong, because what is love? Keeping the commandments of the Most High. So when we say, boy, we love these nations, and maybe they're right, because what they do, they keep the commandments of these nations. So the Most High is saying that He will bless who bless us. But so far, no nation have earned that blessing. But they have earned the curse. Curse be anyone that what?
Curse thee.
Right. Yeah.
Lucky, sir. And a note on the chapter earlier when you said the IMF tried to railroad Jamaica. The World Bank wanted to give us 50 million US dollars the other day. And all the government had to do was to implement and pass into law the I.S.U.P.K.
Oh, it was the World Bank.
Cancer.
I heard the argument that this gathering of what they call it, biometric data on every single person was hinged on a big loan.
Cancer.
But I was wondering which loan I was wondering if it was the Chinese.
It was the World Bank.
It's the World Bank. Well, World Bank normally piggyback on IMF. Once you pass IMF test, World Bank is at your door. What's the other one?
EU.
EU. And yeah, there's one in the Caribbean.
CARICOM.
No, man, not CARICOM.
NAFTA. North American Free Trade Agreement.
No, that is a trade agreement. I'm talking about a bank. Inter-American Development Bank. IDB. That's what they said. Right, the IDB is one too. So once you put up with IMF foolishness, these other banks ready to lend you money. Now 50 million US. When a billionaire out in the world, I hear a little country like Jamaica scraping for 50 million US. They look at us and laugh. You remember this settlement? There was a marriage settlement the other day for 27 billion US. Who was the guy again who he got divorced and his wife got $27 billion? No, that is a severance package. Which man again?
And sir.
Alright, I don't want to tell no lies, so I'll leave it. I can't remember the name. But this lady got $27 billion for a marriage settlement. And Jamaica have to pass some serious laws and threaten our constitutional rights to get $50 million. Threaten our constitutional rights. They were trying to pass it in law now. The law passed, It's the gazetting period we are at now, where they would advertise it and put it in gazette so that you are aware of it. And that law states that if you don't comply with giving your retinal scan and I think DNA in it too,
Cancer.
Right, your DNA And what else?
Everything.
Fingerprint. I think they scan even the asshole. I think there's something about scanning the asshole. No. No, come on. We are Jamaican. You want to scan asshole? Come on, man. Try something else.
Cancer. And there's another section. There's a section to it that it was hinged on why the Supreme Court threw it out.
Right.
That is the section that we could not be identified. The white man does not want to identify us because if they identify us as Africans, the Africans is going to deny us and tell them outright that we are not Africans. And they don't want us to know that we are Israelites.
Well, I tell you, I have had Nigerian friends. I've had a good friend from Nigeria out here. I remember the first one I said, and I met that person. I said, "Oh, you're from Nigeria." It was a female. It wasn't my woman. She never, we weren't involved that way. I said, "Oh, yeah, from Nigeria. Good, I would like to know about my ancestral home and thing." And she looked at me and she smiled. I said, "What?" She said, from I've been here, I've been hearing that, I've been hearing Jamaicans saying that we're African. But I can't identify which of the tribes you Jamaicans you black people would be from. But I didn't understand then.
God, sir.
It's really since coming into the U.P.K, I really understand what she was saying. She basically was telling me that we are not Africans. And the records are there to prove it. And Americans, they take up this thing when they say black American. Since they start to talk about reparation in America, then they start to say, but those persons who came over here who didn't come up to the slave trade, these Africans, they are not to get any. So for years, they want to identify with the Africans. But as some money going to pay now, they're realizing that, oh, we are not Africans.
Yeah, sir. They're trying to change the system as it is now. They are changing some rhetoric in America.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not on board with the Jamaica tend to be this place that firmly believe in the reparation movement.
Right.
And the black Americans are railroading it. And they don't accept the fact that they are not going to get reparation because they cannot be identified. They are not African. No African was ever involved in the slave trade, was carted away
in the slave trade.
In the slave trade as a slave.
That is true. That is true. But what we here in the Caribbean seeking reparation and them in the American seeking reparation is not from the same person.
God, sir, God.
They are seeking the Americans are seeking reparation from the American government.
God, sir, God.
We are seeking reparation from the British.
God.
So it's not the same thing.
If they want to seek reparation, the British by within the next 5 years, the British is going to tell them that. But David Cameron came out here about 2 years ago and said, we're not giving you no reparation. We can build a prison for you.
Cameron, I mean,
cancer. And they were all up in arms about
it. And it led to some demonstration in England by the Jamaicans who were living in England.
Cancer.
Right. So that was, but then how can they, what would be a reasonable settlement for reparation? You know what reparation means, that they are repairing a damage that was done.
God,
So if we are to get true reparation, remember now, what they teach you in school is that you were taken from the bush.
Uncivilized.
And being uncivilized. But when you look at history and you look at the civilizations that were on the west coast of Africa, within the same regions that we were taken from civilization. So it means then that they paying us reparation. They will basically have to give you everything that they have.
God, sir. God.
So now you can see, because Christ, you know, and the Most High is just.
God.
So now you can see why the kingdom of the earth will become the kingdom of God.
God.
And will be given to the Israelites, because that's the only way they can repay you.
God, sir.
Give you everything that they have.
So the white man is not going to give up his wealth. The African is not going to give up his wealth. The Arab's not going to give up their wealth.
That is why it will be taken.
God. Because it was the Arabs, the African, and the white man who were unjust to us. And that is why the Most High said.
Every race.
God.
Because, you know, and why it is this way is that none of these races, the Most High has never demanded of them to repay us. All right. The statutory limit. What is the statutory limit? You're referring to a period of time in which you can bring out a trial. What is statutory limit for murder?
None.
What is statutory limit for rape?
None.
What is statutory limit for stealing?
None.
What is statutory limit for abuse?
None.
So imagine now, the person who is a judge now, you know, is a being which cannot die.
God.
So, I mean, whatever atrocities you and I commit now, a judge in our lifetime, if we can commit an atrocity now and hide from the system, then what happened? And we live until we're dead, and that die. But imagine now you're being judged by a God. You cannot die.
God.
That debt will still be in the book as not being repaid. And the thing is, each time that you are reincarnated, that God, and is one God, and is our God, knows who you are when you are reincarnated. I remember him telling you, from the start, I will visit what? The sins of I visit the sins on the what?
Generation.
The third and fourth generation. But the most I tell you that the sins that is due to pay, this generation who commit the sin, you die. 3 generations down the line, go and pay it.
God. There are some Christians that do not believe that, even though they read it in the Bible, they say, no, they can't agree with that. But yet still there's Christians and they believe in the Bible. Then it can safely say that
if you are the power to make something with your hand, and you can make that thing talk, can that thing tell you that him don't agree with what you're going to put into him or what you're going to do? Well, it's the same thing with mankind. God make you and him tell you how him do things. Whether you agree or not. Did we agree with slavery? I'm sure we didn't. And not all of us is even agreeing with being repaired. That is why we are in hell. So let's look what the Bible say about hell. Before we go there, let's look at All right, let's look at hell. I have one thing I want to look at. I have Psalms, but I want let's go hell and then we look at Psalms. Matthew 10 and 28.
Answer. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
All right. So this discussion that we had before does lead us right into hell. The Most High make you, and he's telling you that the generation here that commit a sin might not be the generation to pay for the sin. It's 3 or 4 generations down the line that go and pay for that sin that is coming. Look at Solomon. Solomon committed the sin, you know. Solomon never paid, you know. Solomon died a happy man, you know.
God, sir, God.
But what happened to his son? Kingdom was split and 10 tribes was rent from him.
God, sir.
That's how it is. That's how the Most High do things. And it's only one race of people, or one family of people on the earth who can attest and understand how the Most High do things. And that is us.
God, sir.
That is why the other races, they look at us and they laugh, you know. Because what? They look at things that are put into our hands, which we end up losing. And they say, a fool, and waste, and then this and then that. But when the Most High say, you are going into sufferation, if you get the whole gold mine, that's not going to save you. As a matter of fact, that gold mine might make you go further in sufferation too. And this is what the other races don't understand. They think that wealth is all, you know. And they believe that having wealth won't make you suffer. But the Most High take that from you. As a matter of fact, it can make you suffer with it too.
God.
They can lick you with some disease and some sickness where your wealth can't help. And you're in a pain every day. Can't enjoy your wealth. That's how the Most High works. Alright. So continue now with what was it? Matthew 10 and 28.
God, sir.
So here it is telling you, the Most High is telling you, not to fear man. So like we know, we say the white man's rulership out here is indirect. However, subconsciously, we see a white man on the road, it's like the subconscious sticking and knows that you have to respect the white man, eh? So how that happen? But the Most High is telling you, don't fear the white man. But fear, continue, who should you fear?
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Soul, alright. When I read this now, in the New Testament, it is telling you that to be able to destroy what?
Soul and the body.
Can somebody see your soul?
Laha.
Can somebody see your body?
Cancer.
So your body is visible.
Cancer.
So that here it is telling that the body can go into hell.
Cancer.
What is being taught in the church about hell?
Hell is a place you go when you die.
You die, and depending on the life you live, you go to
hell,
heaven, or hell. But here, the Most High is telling you that is who can put both the soul and the body in hell you should fear. Not just the one who can see the body and kill it. You have no control over your soul. Continue. That's it. So, the Most High is telling you that here, well, yes, It was Christ who was speaking here, no?
Answer.
So Christ was telling us that hell is here on earth. Let's go to another scripture. Ecclesiastes 3 and 16 to 17.
Answer. Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 16. And moreover, I saw on her sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there.
All right. So, what is under the sun?
Earth.
Earth is under the sun. All right. So here on earth is the place of
Judgment.
so you don't die to be judged.
Answer.
What else was there?
Wickedness.
Isn't there wickedness on earth?
Answer.
And what else is there?
And the place of righteousness.
Isn't there righteousness on earth?
Answer.
And where can you find righteousness today?
In the I.S.U.P.K.
Oh, you didn't write on the head. In the priests and officers and troopers who are treading the road. That's where you find righteousness today. So does righteousness exist outside of the U.P.K?
Laha, sir.
When you examine what is being taught outside of the U.P.K and how all the teachings, even though the Arabs have all laws, the Jewish persons, they have the laws and they have the custom, but everything goes off on a tangent, meaning that it doesn't go right into the mark, you know. It go off, it misses the mark. So if you're missing the mark, you cannot say you're righteous, you know.
Answer.
So where does righteousness exist?
In the U.P.K.
That's what we got to say. Only the U.P.K. We're finished.
Laha, sir.
So what else was under the sun?
That iniquity was there.
Iniquity. In Jamaica, you know, what do you call iniquity?
Oh, yeah.
You have the answer before I finish asking the question. In Jamaica, we call it straight and plain obia. So it is under the sun too. Iniquity is under the sun, isn't it?
Answer.
I don't know that obia is really trickery. So iniquity is trickery. So in other words, if I know a boost that you can put in a food or something, or rub it on the skin and make your skin swell up or something. I mean, you can add that with a little hocus pocus and see what you get.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's stick to what the Bible says. The Bible says it's iniquity.
Iniquity. Answer.
Alright, so L, according to Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiastes is such a wonderful book about life, you know. But, like any other book of the Bible, you have to get the correct interpretation. Many times what we do now, probably this is why most people don't understand certain books. Try and study a book out of the Bible rather than read 2 chapters from the book. And you might get what the book is talking about. Now, add that with U.P.K breakdown. And then you will see why the Most High said we shall be priests. Because with the righteous breakdown and you being in leadership, you are a priest. That's why we become kings and priests when Christ comes. Alright, let's move a little rapido. Oh, oh, that was 16, right? 17. 17 too. Right.
I said in mine heart,
Right.
God shall judge the righteous and the wicked.
Exactly. So even though we say that we are righteous, we still get judged, you know. We still under judgment. Continue.
For there is a time there for every purpose
and
for every work.
So what is, all right, in Jamaica, when you face the judge, what does the judge use as a yardstick to find if you are guilty or not? Or the measuring stick?
Evidence.
And evidence, and then they measure it with what? Witness. So there's the evidence, there's a witness. I want him used to judge if you're guilty now. Come on, me think we're going to get that one as fast as we are going to get the other. What is it that a judge in a court used to the
Law of the land.
Thank you. Law of the land. So we have a law, we have a buggery law. Which means you can't have sex with in the anus of male or female. They want to change that. By the way, it's the law of the land that you use to judge a person here in Jamaica. But we are dealing with the Bible. So read what this again, 17 says what?
I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked.
So God shall judge the righteous and the wicked. What is that yardstick now that the Most High, Yahweh, will be using to judge the righteous and to judge the wicked?
Evidence, laws.
Is one answer.
The laws.
The laws.
Laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
So the laws of the Bible is what he will use to judge us. And I can challenge any Christian on this. And they're going to tell you, oh, but the blood of Christ. But that don't mean that the Most High won't be using the law. It's just that when you're found guilty, Christ will be your savior. That's where I go. Yeah, that don't mean it's another law I'm going to use. He will be using the law.
Lucky, sir. But the Christian will say it is okay to break the laws. Then, if Christ is going to use the law and judge you, and then Christ is your redemption from that sin, because sin is the transgressions of the law.
Yeah.
So, if Christ is going to redeem the Christians from that transgression of the law, then the Christians are okay and they'll be never.
If Christ is going to redeem them.
Answer.
All right. Now let's look at one of the teachings that Christ says. Christ said, you cannot get a good fruit from a
bad tree.
From an evil tree.
Cancer. Evil tree cannot bear good fruit.
Evil tree cannot bear good fruit. And what is the foundation of Christianity today?
Roman Catholicism.
Roman Catholicism, and that is the evil tree Christ was talking about.
Cancer.
So the foundation is wrong. You build a house and the foundation will build good. What happened to the superstructure? It topples. So if they didn't have the proper foundation, what is it Christ is going to redeem them of?
You can't redeem them from breaking the law.
You remember this other part? Oh, have mercy. Matthew 24, where it says, Christ shall say, depart from me, I know you not.
Cancer.
Many shall come to me and say, Lord, Lord, I have haven't I done what?
Great works in thy
name. Haven't I healed the sick? Haven't I raised the dead? And he shall say what?
Apart from me, I know you not.
Why? If Christ is going to forgive sins, why he wouldn't forgive them? Tell me. In the foundation, evil tree cannot bring forth good fruit. So then come off of the evil tree already. And they have not sought to make it right. How can you form a religion where you're worshiping God and the things that the God that you're worshiping love, you treat those things like crap and it's nothing, yet you're going to say you love that God? That God says keep these laws, you don't keep them. That God says these people are my chosen people. When these people come in your presence, you enslave them. You treat them bad, you undermine them. You give them 6 and 9. And yet you say you love the God that created these people, that these people come from. How are you going to prove to that God that you love him? By doing what? You're not keeping the laws.
God, sir.
You don't love the people who him love, who is his people.
God, sir.
So, I challenge you. Tell me what is it that they would use to redeem themselves? To make Christ say, alright, I can overlook the sins that, since as every man have sinned, because even we who are say righteous, we sin too. So what is it that make Christ forgive us and not forgive them?
We practice the laws, statutes, and
Practice the laws, statutes, and commandments. It was given to us.
We do. We don't hear and we don't listen. We do the laws, statutes, and commandments.
All right. And what else? And we love the people that the Most High love.
God, sir.
That is key.
God, sir.
So, they challenge the Christian. So Christian don't even want to tell the Israelite them say them are Israelite. They don't want to tell them that. So what is it they're going to use to redeem themselves?
So you challenge any pastor to go on the pulpit and say, ye black people of this congregation, you are Israelites, God's chosen people.
Yes. And then you're going to tell them what they are to do as God's chosen people. And that is where the problem comes in.
And you are saying, no pastor or priest can ever do that in any Christian church.
They can, you know. But what is it that why they don't want to do it? One, it's going to free you. So you're going to realize now that you don't have to pay him tithe. That's the first thing. You're going to now realize that you don't have to pay him tithe. Secondly, you're now going to realize that these people who you are holding in I.S.T.M. in the church is nothing. But why the pastor is not at liberty to do so, I don't know if them do some oaths in theological college or what. But your freedom or your liberation is their oppression. So in other words, when you, the Israelite, become liberated, and you know what you are supposed to do and you start to do it, you are going to rise to the top and the other nations come below you. So if it is those nations that is going to teach you that, you think they're going to teach you?
God, sir.
But they are at a loss because it's still happening. And it's not happening through them. It would be better for them if they were playing a part in their awakening. At least they would become. Remember, the Bible tell you about servants and it tell you about higher servants, you know. So they would become higher servants. In other words, they might become the man next to you, the king. who you appoint as you remember Joseph became what in Egypt?
Chief Minister.
Exactly, he became a governor. The only man greater than him was what? Pharaoh. But was he an Egyptian? No. So if these nations mean themselves any good, they will be spending their money to get Israel awakened, because the awakening is happening and they are not being a part of it. So it means that they are going to become lower servants. That's all it means. Now, let's stick to L. Where are we?
We had read Genesis.
No, we're in Matthew and Ecclesiastes,
Counter.
All right. Let's see what Deuteronomy 32. Now, this one is an interesting one. Deuteronomy 32 and 22.
Counter.
Deuteronomy, the book of Deuteronomy was written from before we went into the land, the promised land. I read what it says here.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 22. And he shall rose up that night.
Where are you?
Deuteronomy. That was Genesis.
You still have Genesis on the mind.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 22. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth.
All right. Take up it. All right, you know why we laugh? All right, I said read 22, but I'm going to ask you to read 21 after I finish 22. So the Most High is saying a fire is kindled within him.
In his anger.
In his anger. Somebody ever get you hungry till you...
Blood boy.
Yeah, you know, the white man, the best man used to get angry. You understand what I mean by your blood boy?
God.
When you get the white man angry, in color change.
God, sir. God.
When you get a black man angry, you don't know if I'm going to lick you down.
God.
All right. So I'm saying a fire is kindling his anger, and shall burn unto the what?
And shall burn unto the lowest hell.
What the lowest hell, how hellish state a man can find himself in? Slavery that we have been into. At the lowest state you can find yourself in. We were reduced to less than human. Even in the Constitution. Even in the Constitution we were reduced to less than humans. So that's a hellish state. But today, what's the lowest state you can find? What's the lowest state we can find ourselves in today?
Not being above the other nation.
No.
Officer.
Mm-hmm.
To be so poor that you are not able to even satisfy the basic needs of life.
Trust me, that's the worst state you can find yourself in today. What you call extreme poverty. So you see Deuteronomy 28 being fulfilled right there. You have nothing. You serve your enemies in hunger and in want of all things. That's extreme poverty. And that's also slavery. Think of the ghettos. That is hell. You don't know where tonight's dinner is coming from. You don't know. Planning ahead is a luxury. You find yourself in a state where you don't have anything. So planning ahead, that's luxury. Because you have nothing to plan ahead with. Unless you plan ahead, so you don't know take with the Monday things. And what the Bible says about that, it is wrong. Yes. You know, we were talking earlier about that's why Christ will take the other nations' riches and possession. if you go to court today, you take somebody to court for, let's say, a student. In Jamaica case, you sue somebody for damages and you win. Let's put a figure on it. $2 million. Now put a great figure. $2 million, eh? You listen?
Cancer.
And that person, the court award you the $2 million, but that person not paying up. What do you think happened after? This is man laws we're talking about now. What happened after?
Court then seize your asset. Pay.
You remember the bailiff did seize the JUTC box. That was like a joke because what I do was about some 13 million, you know. And I don't mean Jamaican dollar, you know. What I did, the articulated boss. They're expensive, you know.
Yes.
And the bailiff do what? Seize the property of the bailiff seize the property of JUTC. Now, in the case of Christ and judging the other nations for the Israelites, what do you think? That is why him take the thing there, take their possession to repay you. Because when they are found guilty, you know, you think they're going to pay up. That is why they prefer fight because I saw the battle in Jehoshaphat I go happen now, you know. That's how the battle in Jehoshaphat now, you know. They're not going to pay up, you know. Pay up what? They're rather dead. And trust me, the God that we serve is not new to battle. When you say battle, it's like you said to Donald Trump, money. When you say war to our God, you know, it's like you're telling Donald Trump, say, here is some money. Yeah, man. Our God is a God of war. War they want, make it start. That is how God look at things, you know. And when you study Israel's history, it's a history of war. Life is about warfare. And to get us out of hell, it's going to be what?
War.
War. But what? You have to wake up first Jamaicans to see the need for that war. And by seeing the need, then the Most High will deliver the war unto you. I should say for you. All right, we finish with that?
No.
Shall consume the earth with her increase and set on fire.
Foundations of the mountains.
All right. And that is what is the all right? Mountains normally refer to like government. So what are the foundation of the government? People.
Cancer.
So he's talking about the Israelites here now. So the foundation would be what? The 12 tribes.
Cancer.
So what is he saying that he will do? Set on fire the what?
The foundations of
the Israelites. He will set on fire the Israelites. No, I told while you were reading, I was laughing a little. And this is why I was laughing. Read verse 21.
Cancer. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 21. They have moved me to jealousy.
This is the Most High speaking now.
With that which is not God.
So we have used idols to make God jealous. Continue.
They have provoked me to anger with their vanities.
We have provoked the Most High to. Man, you can't make a God vex. Only Israel do that. Continue.
And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
Can you believe that? So he said, all right. See? People always say, just jump up and say, you must learn to forgive. Yeah, the Most High forgive, yes. But what if more do yourself? Revenge. That is the God is war, you know. So Israel provoked God. He says, all right. It's me name God, you know. What you are going to do with you? And he's going to provoke us to jealousy with those which are not a people. Continue.
I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
Now, isn't that happening?
Cancer.
What can you call somebody who call the police and a little man, a little 12-year-old cut the lawn?
Jealousy.
Foolish.
Foolish.
What do you call somebody who does call the cop on somebody sitting in your restaurant waiting on somebody else?
Foolish.
And what you call somebody, tell him who call the cops and a little girl selling lemonade?
Foolish. Foolish nation.
And there's so many things that have happened which prove that they are the foolish nation that the Most High said they are going to use, he's going to use to provoke us to what?
Anger.
And trust me, when they do this, aren't we angry?
Cancer.
Don't play with God. Don't play with the Most High. And if there's any family on this earth that learn that, is who?
Israelite.
Israelite. Yes, we learn that, man. Don't play with God. Because he is God and he will smile at you when you take him for fool. But what? When he's ready to execute the judgment for what you do, trust me, you don't see it coming. Because what? He will wait. When him say he visit the sin and the third and fourth generation, you know, what do you think happen? And the same people who come with the sin come back, you know.
Cancer. That is the time that they are
reincarnated. So you think God is a toy? It's all right. I have patience. I wait till you're dead and come again. Because when you die, your memory erased.
Cancer.
But his don't erase.
Cancer. You
don't
remember the atrocity.
You don't even remember what you do. And the matter of fact, you don't even remember that you were here.
Cancer.
But you don't remember you. It's my time now. You're going into hell. That's where we are. So the Most High is right on target when he say him going to provoke me. I know. And when you're in the church, you see these things happening and the church can't explain to the people as to why. And you're not praying hard enough, man. Pray a little more. This coming like when Elisha provoked, taught the the priest of what religion is the name again? The one where Jezebel, the Northern Kingdom religion, them man. Baal. Baal. The priest of Baal, and they was saying, you're not praying hard, baby, you're not praying hard enough, man. Pray some more. It's the same thing Christ the church do. You're not praying hard enough, sister. You need to go on a fast. Anyways, so the lowest hell today that the most I have us in Jamaicans is extreme poverty. Don't play with God. All right, we said that we're going to look at Psalm 104:29 at this stage.
Psalm 104.
Find it?
29.
Yeah. 104. This give you a little synopsis of how the Most High treats us, how powerful He is. Find it?
29.
Psalms 104, verse 29.
Psalm chapter 104, verse 29. Thou hidest thy face. They are troubled.
So the Most High just hide Him face from us. How Him hide Him face? Meaning don't just look away. And we are troubled. Right?
Thou takest.
Speak up in. The Most High, meaning Him stop smiling on Israel. You know what that do? Open the door for the white man come in and punish him. Yeah.
Answer.
Because this is all the time when Israel fall, Israel will sin at the Most High, turn His face from us. And once Him turn His face from us, the white man, it's always the white man, you know. He's the band leader. Even when the other race, when we fall prey to the other race, you know, the white man is the band leader, you know. Yeah, man. And him see that, him take that opportunity to come in and to devour and to kill and so on and so forth. All right, continue.
Thou takest away their breath.
They die.
They die and return to their dust.
Return to their dust. Right. So the Most High just take away breath and we did, eh? Now, we were at the discussion we were having earlier. Read 30 now.
Answer. Psalms 104, verse 30. Thou sendest forth thy spirit. They are created.
See? Them send forth the spirit now and they are created. And
thou renewest
the face of the earth. Right. Them just take away breath and we die. We don't remember what we do now. But you remember. And them just send back the breath now. It's alright, punishment time now. Yes. That's how great and powerful the Most High is. Heaven and earth, heaven and hell is nothing but a mystery. So you see, when you find yourself in this hardship and hard time, we can do a little soul searching, you know, because that comes about, you know, I was going to say it comes about because we have done something wrong. But I remember Job. The Most High is not obligated to you. You have bigger things to do. So don't think that you are most. You know, when they put the prize food on the platter. No, that's not it. The nation of Israel is on the Most High's platter. The nation and the individual. And today, on top of that platter, on top of the nation, the Most High whispers in the ears of commanding General YAHANNA, the person that is chosen to judge Israel, and that the way it has always been in the Bible. You read it, and you know, it's like the Catholic Church and the Anglican Church. They understand it, you know. They see them priests there. Those priests, they are well studied. They probably know the Bible more than well, I don't think they know more than our generals, because trust me, our generals know the Bible. But like we just coming on, they probably know the Bible more than you and I know. Because they know how to get you to sin. So that's true. They know you more than you know yourself. They know how to get you to sin. You know.
They know what not to read for you and what not to teach you.
It's the grace of God and His promise of sending the Holy Spirit to teach us in the last days. If He didn't do that, you think some other nation will teach me? Huh?
They couldn't.
They would not. If He didn't send His Holy Spirit to come and whisper in the ears of the generals, and the generals come and hand down the breakdown to the rest of us, we would be a doomed nation. And we're still not out of the ready. All right. So that summarize heaven and hell. We want to take a look at the Passover. You know, celebrating the Passover this week. Exodus. Let's go to Exodus. We're gonna run through the Passover. 15 minutes. Exodus 7 and 9. Genesis, Exodus what?
Exodus 7 and verse 9.
All right, read Exodus 7 and 9.
Concept. And when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent.
Right. So the Most High now getting ready here now to do what?
Punish Egypt.
And to what?
To free the children of Israel.
And to redeem Israel. Hey, you know, God allow things to happen. He has his reason why he allow things to happen. But you see, when him say enough is enough, trust me. And right now he's getting ready to say enough is enough. So he said to Pharaoh, he said to Moses, he's going to ask for a miracle. So take your rod and just put it straight on the ground. And it will become a serpent. Alright. Go down to 12 now.
Answer. Exodus chapter 7 and verse 12. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents, but Aaron's rod swallowed up their rod.
Alright, so the Most High here now showing Israel that, yeah, these people have a little magic too, but what? I am more powerful. Huh?
Answer.
Right. He is showing, he's now ramping up his show of power to the Egyptians. I remember, you know, when this freed that he freed Israel, you know, this was talked about for ages.
Answer.
For ages. Until World War I and World War II, them were designed to wipe out the older world.
Answer.
Yeah, man, all the older countries and gone, you know. They wipe out, Babylon get wiped out. The last one was who? Assyria. Assyria lasted up to World War I and World War II. I think it was one.
Answer.
They almost got toppled in World War I, and they were finished by World War II. That was the last ancient nation who would have in their records our freedom from Egypt. And there is no country now who that have that record, you know. So you see why the Most High have to redo it now with Babylon.
Gone.
Alright, so the Most High is getting ready to show that he is more powerful and mightier than the Egyptian gods. Let's go to the plagues. The Exodus 7 and 14.
Answer. Exodus chapter 7 and verse 14. And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuseth to let the people go.
Alright, 15.
Verse 15. Get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goeth out unto the water, and thou shalt stand by the river's bank, by the river's brink, against he come, and the rod which was turned to a serpent shalt thou take in thine hand. Okay.
Alright, I'm going to read 16. And thou shalt say unto him, the Lord God of the Hebrews hath sent me unto thee, saying, let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. You know, to show you how stupid the other nations can be. You know. All they're asking for was just 3 days to go serve the Most High in the wilderness and come back, you know. They never go to Pharaoh and say, we want to be freed, you know. They say, we want 3 days to go and serve the Most High in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear. All right, read 17 now.
Answer. Exodus 7 and verse 17. Thus saith the Lord, in this thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood.
All right, so that was the first thing. Water turned to blood. Exodus 8 and 1 now.
Exodus chapter 8 and verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses. spake unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, and that they may serve me.
Right. So, go down to 3 now. Drop down to 3.
Answer. Exodus chapter 8 and verse 3. And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into their house, into thine house, and into thy bedchamber, and up and upon thy bed, and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and in thine ovens,
Into thine oven.
and into thine oven, and into thy
Kneading trough.
kneading
That I probably need the flour there. So frogs take over the place. And their gods can't stop it. I have to come back to Moses and say, beg you, take it off away. And then do it. And then I'll let them go. So that was the second plague. Exodus 8 and 16.
Exodus chapter 8 and verse 16. And the Lord said unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, Stretch out thy rod, and smite the dust of the land, that it may become light throughout all the lands of Egypt.
Now imagine, think of the seaside. There's so much sand upon the sea. Now think of you go over the sea and you can smite the dirt, the dust, the sea sand. And that sea sand become light. And take over the land. Just picture that. You remember chink? You know chink? You know headlights? You know chigga? No, think of those things. Whether all three or anyone plaguing the people. Lights are a big something, you know. And then bite. Especially chink. Chink. I remember prison one time in jail, they were full of chink. Man, don't go to jail, cowboy. I get the chink must bite him. Right, these are lice are blood-sucking creatures. So this is one of the plagues that the Most High said on them. Lice. All right, the next one now. Drop down to 20.
Exodus chapter 8 and verse 20. And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me.
21.
Verse 21. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servant. And
all right, let's take up it. So we get the picture there. So this is the plague of flies. You ever in a kitchen cooking and you have 1 dozen flies in the kitchen?
Answer.
It come like you have the world of fly. Well, multiply that by 10 now. I multiply it by 1,000,000. Flies. So much flies the most I said out of them. You know, in our lifetime, I remember when you used to see the Ethiopians, half-starving Ethiopians. What are always on them?
Flies.
Flies. And the Ethiopians, as we now learn, are what? Are mites.
Cancer.
Same offspring as the Egyptians. So many flies that even until today the flies cross the border and still up on their minds. Alright. That's the play of flies. Go down to 9, Exodus 9 and 1.
Exodus chapter 9 and verse 1. Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me.
Drop down to 3. Verse 3.
Exodus chapter 9 and verse 3. Behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous mourning.
Moraine.
Moraine.
Alright, they can look up that word, but we're not going to look up that. But on to 4.
Exodus 9 and verse 4. And the Lord shall serve. Shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt. And there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel.
Alright, so this one was the death of the livestock. Death of livestock. And you know, all the plagues is the Egyptians the trouble, you know, and the trouble the Israelites, you know, and they were living amongst them, you know. So the Egyptians are now getting ready to lose their livestock. Alright. Next one. 9. No, 8. Drop down to 8.
Deuteronomy, Exodus chapter 9 and verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, Take to you handful of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it towards the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh.
Verse 1, that's all. Verse 8, yeah, 9, read 9.
Verse 9. And it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt.
Now think of having a boil. Remember, I know if you have one boil, you know, it's hot. Think of having several of that on your body. And also on your livestock that remain, that survive, that didn't get in, that wasn't perish. That's what the livestock that survived. Think of boils. So that was the next plague. The Most High sent boils on the Egyptians. Drop down to 13.
Answer. Exodus chapter 9 and verse 13. And the Lord said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me.
All right. So each time him and Pharaoh's heart hardened after him get free up from the plague. He said, no, sir, now let it go. And the Most High lick him with something else. What is it that the Most High is getting him ready for this time? That was what? 13?
Answer.
All right, drop down to... all right, read verse 15. 15.
Exodus chapter 9 and verse 15. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth.
Now, you know, when after all these plagues and things, and the Most High sink Egypt, well, mash them up in the sea, in the Red Sea. You know, it was actually the end of Egypt until when Alexandria got down in Egypt. And you see, the Most High said, cut off from the earth. See him planning on for Babylon. Drop down to 18 now.
Okay. Exodus chapter 9 and verse 18. Behold, tomorrow, about this time, I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail.
Right. So this is the plague now of the hail. So I'm send a hailstorm. Now, if picture hail the size of some stone, if I have a gravel, the distance and the speed it's coming with is still dangerous, eh?
Gotcha.
Now anything outside, then so the rest of the livestock that they have left, you know, are out there feeding, you know. The Most I sent tell the Egyptians, the Israelites to get their livestock out of the field, you know. So that was the battle plan now, you know. Bring in your livestock. And you bring in your livestock and it just rain down plague on hail and the Egyptians and their livestock. Alright, so that is hailstorm. Next one, Exodus 10. Read the first verse.
Exodus chapter 10. And the Lord said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart, and the heart of his servant, that I might that I might show these my signs before him.
All right. So the most add them out again now and it's all right. Drop down to 4.
Concept. Exodus 10 and verse 4. Else, if thou refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow will I bring the locust into the coast, into thy coast.
So one more. Imagine, they got through flies, they got through lice. Now you got through what? Locust.
Concept. Look at it. The Most High definitely wanted to destroy the Egyptians.
Definitely. And not only them, but what? What them want?
Cancer, God.
Because what do you think the locust going to eat?
Everything.
In the field.
Eel.
So what never destroyed by the eel?
Going to be destroyed
by the locust. So they won't have food.
Because the Most High said, for I have hardened his heart. So it's the Most High. So the Most High could have softened his heart, but he chose to harden it.
And in those days, you know, wars were fought with swords, arrows, spears. No, arrow don't fly, no. That was sword drawn, you know.
Cancer.
Well, no sword of man, you know, but it's the sword the angel used to bring the plague, you know. So, man, I talk about America, talk about warfare. There's no warfare yet. You can fight a God. Can you fight a God?
They have sent spaceships to space looking for
how where God lives.
Where God lives. But it's not them alone. The Tower of Babel was trying to find the same thing.
Why God did trick them in Babel. And when it was on fire, the arrow came back with blood and the arrow head. So they said, oh, save the fire.
When Christians don't teach this in church, just tell you that God destroyed the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, but they're not telling why. They're not going to tell you why now. You see, all the evangelists and evangelical churches we have, where evangelical churches come from?
Rome.
America. All of the evangelical churches. America are them shoot from. America is Babylon. Babylon not going to teach anything to destroy themselves. They ain't that stupid. So the locust now, Exodus 10, drop down to 21.
Exodus 10, chapter 10 and verse 21. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
You can imagine that. You can imagine a situation where you get so dark that you can actually feel the darkness. Damn. Now, when you're in darkness, what is the main thing get affected? What can't you do?
You can't see.
Obviously.
Right.
So how that affect the production of your country now?
Can't get to work.
Well, let's say you can work. Well, it depends on what work you do. But you can't see, you can't read. And there, if Egypt was a literal society, you know. Yeah, man. Reading, making hieroglyphs, and so on. And they couldn't do any of that. However, the Egyptian, the Israelites, read on 23.
Cancer. Exodus 10 and verse 23. They saw not one another.
So I mean, even people in the household, when the light come back, when the darkness leaves, they say, gee, 3 days now I don't see him. Continue. They saw not.
Neither rose any from his place for 3 days.
Right, so they lay down and sleep for 3 days because can't see.
But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings.
So even with all this, the Israelites still go out in the wilderness and still took with them the gods of the Egyptians, who the Most High did demonstrate to them that had no power. So that's the 3 days of darkness now. That's the 9th plague. Exodus 11 and 1 now.
Exodus chapter 11 and verse 1. And the Lord said unto Moses, Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterward, he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely
thrust
you
out
hence altogether.
I know, funny enough, the Most I said for the second Exodus now, we won't be trusted out because we won't be leaving empty-handed. Damn. I suppose the bailiff coming to pay. And you're not going to leave empty-handed. So the bailiff coming.
Lucky, sir.
Yes.
So, after the Most High beat the Egyptians, and beating them and beating them and beating them, then, because he keep hardening their heart, Pharaoh's heart still. One of the reasons is pride.
Yes.
That was one of the reasons.
Pride on the heart, you know.
Can't.
Yeah.
So, and the Most High definitely wanted to wipe them out off the face of the earth. That is why.
Why Most High want to wipe them out?
Because they prevented Israel from worshiping the Most High.
The Most High want, remember now, approximately 400 years and down there. The Most High want to wipe them off out and treat the Israelites.
God. So even
they were being oppressed.
So even after the Most High softened his heart to let the children of Israel go, then the Most High hardened it again.
All right, we'll read all of this, so continue reading.
Exodus 11 and verse 2. Speak now.
Read a little faster.
Exodus 11 and verse 2. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. Verse 3.
No, the Most I said borrow,
Answer.
Because them know what I'm getting ready for, but the Egyptians don't know what is to come. So they're going to just borrow them gold and them silver. Continue.
Answer. Verse 3. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians.
Because now them see that the Israelites have the more powerful God. Continue.
Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants, and in the sight of the people.
All right.
Verse 4. And Moses said, Thus saith the Lord, about midnight we will go out into the...
Will I go out? Not we.
Will I go out into the midst of Egypt? Verse 5. And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon the throne,
His throne,
even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill.
The workers them there now.
And all the firstborn of beasts.
So much time the beast them get strike, so all the firstborn of the beast will get licked now.
Verse 6. And these shall be a great cry throughout the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore. Verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move its tongue against man or beast, and ye may know how
that ye may know
how that the Lord doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So the Most High will separate the sheep from the goat now. Continue.
Verse 8.
Alright, we eat both. They're separating the pigs from the sheep. Continue.
Verse 8. And all these thy servants shall come down upon me, and bow down themselves unto me, saying, Get thee out, and all the people that follow thee, and after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger. Verse 10.
9.
Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. Verse 10. And Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land.
Right, so the Most High is setting him up now for the death of the firstborn. And that is what the Passover is all about. Let's look Passover. Let's look at Leviticus 23 and 4 and 5. Leviticus 23.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 4. There are these are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their season. Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month, at even is the Lord's Passover.
Right. So this is where the Most High is did them so bad that they had to make an holiday out of it. Nations follow after that. America have their Veterans Day. They have their Thanksgiving. They have made holidays out of slaughtering people too. Yeah, Veterans Day. What do you think veterans do?
Fight war.
They was to go another country go sink. No, they went to another country to kill, and they have made holidays out of it. Veterans Day, what do they call it? Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is where they slaughter the Indian, the tribe of God, the Gadites. Not that, it's Gadites. They slaughter the Gadites. So, that's our holiday, the Passover. So this is what Rome don't want you to remember. So you see why the regular church is not leading you the right way. Big question now. Akaya, Tamar, Kuala, and the young lady. Hear the question now. Is Easter in the Bible? La.
Cancer.
You say can? You say yes, you say no? Why you say no? Why you say yes, Akaya?
It is in St. Matthew. It is near church.
Where?
It's somewhere.
Alright, in the interest of time, okay, you're not going to find that. Let's go to Acts 12 and verse 4. Remember, I don't remember, I think my sister Tamar. Sister Tamar? Sister T. I'm saying it's remember, you don't remember it. You haven't read it before.
Cancer. Acts chapter 12 and verse 4.
Yeah.
And when he had apprehended him.
This is when them imprisoned Peter. Continue.
He put him in prison and delivered him to four quaternions of soldiers
to keep him. So then put him in a prison and put up the prison guard. Right.
Intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
So then imprisoned Peter, put him in a prison, put prison guard, intending to have him tried after Easter. Now, this is one of the mistranslation that is in the Bible. There's a couple of them. I didn't see. But how can we now come and tell them, say, you know that this is a mistranslation put in the Bible? Because we're righteous. We keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. There is, in Leviticus 23, there is none of the high holy days that by the name of Easter. It is the Passover. So you getting ready now to eat bun and cheese and what? And fried fish, celebrating the resurrection of Christ. That's not in the Bible, huh? Right. That's not in the Bible as an holiday. It's not Easter, it's Passover. So they were waiting because back then what they were doing, Easter has been celebrating among the pagans for quite a while, you know, because it's Esther. And even some of the Israelites then they used to be sorry, not what they call the god, the fertility god, man. Ishtar. Right. Ishtar. Where they bake cakes to Ishtar. So baking the bun is not new. From as far back as Jeremiah. Yeah. So when they mistranslate Passover for Easter, I think it's deliberate. It wasn't a miss because people they were keeping Passover then. But by the time the Bible was being translated, it was what? Easter they were keeping then. Because the 1611 was when the translation was done, you know. And we went into slavery shortly after that. So they translated Easter because the church and everywhere was celebrating Easter then. But it's Passover. Now, and you see when you know eat the fish. You know the fish there is for the fish god that they had celebrated at this time too. They gone. Yeah. At Easter time. It's in celebration of the fish god, they gone. Yeah. So then just culminate all of the gods. I tell you, you know, they've studied Israel all over the years, you know. And none of the high holy days is made it to today. All the history was being wiped out. And that is not by chance. By deliberate act. And if it wasn't for Christ, for the Most High sending the Holy Spirit to guide us, if the Holy Spirit is God Himself, you know. If it wasn't for the Most High sending the Holy Spirit to guide us in these last days, we will be in eternal slavery. And like I said, we are still not out there yet. All right. So here, what was being celebrated was Easter. But it is Passover that is to celebrate. So we are getting ready to celebrate Passover next week. What? Friday evening or Saturday evening. The 20th of April 20th, sundown, 2019. It is the big 5-0, 400 years down here. And trust me, great things will be happening after this Passover. You'll be seeing bigger fires. What's in called Capleton and convert you know? Like you come Capleton and fireman in Jamaica, you know? What's in called him? You're going to see some things happening. Because the Most High is getting ready for His people, to liberate His people. But it ain't going to happen while you're asleep, Israel. You're in Jamaica here, you know, you have to wake up for the Most High to see the need to rescue us. And trust me, you know, if the Most High don't rescue us, you know what's going to happen? You know what is it? You know what is? There is a plan stemming from America where they're coming with laws and they're pushing laws on these countries that goes against the constitutional rights of the people. What do you think they're gearing up for? Slavery in another form. Apartheid was slavery. You know? They are gearing up for slavery again, and it's only the Most I can deliver from this one. But you know what's the good thing? The laws that they are writing now is the very laws that is going to govern them after Christ comes. That same law where them are right, use to govern them same one. Anyways, Jamaicans, Israelite Jamaicans, New Benjamites, pay your tithes. Support the truth. Make it to, I gave the date of the Passover. April 20th at sundown. 9601 Woodhaven Manor Banquet Hall, Woodhaven Manor Banquet Hall, Queens, Jamaica, Queens, New York. So it's our time now in Jamaica because the Passover coming right. It's $200 per person or per family. No one little money, but I mean, don't let that stop you. It's the Lord's Passover, and you Israelite must be there. We have many Jamaicans in abroad. There are many Jamaicans here who have their visa, can fly up for that. So find a way at the Woodhaven Manor. Once you're an Israelite, you'll be admitted. Whether you're I.S.U.P.K or not, they will admit you. Pay your money. But outside of that, remember to pay your tithe. Contribute to the I.S.U.P.K. Keep the truth growing. And let the truth spread. Shalom Israel until we meet again.